Hello, and welcome back to Demonology and Actual Play Podcast. We're in Season 3, and this season is the House Crosses, for a reason which will be likely revealed at some point. I'm Alex, I'm your medium, and my pronouns are he, they.
I am Siobhan, my pronouns continue to be he, him, and I am still Benedict Brideshead, ritualist.
Hey, I'm Fionn. I'm out here. I'm playing Rumput, the Sir of Umput, to see Druid. Words.
Hello, I am having a voice break. My name is Felix. My pronouns are they, them. I am playing as Daffodil, who is a Feybound, and Whore.
Hello, I'm Mo. My pronouns are they, them, and I'll be playing once again Eli Swalthorn.
Hi, I'm Sen. Hi, I'm Sen, and I'm playing Elder. My pronouns are they, them, and Elder is a Presidian Knight.
Cool. So, last time, you made a deal with Benedict Brideshead's nemesis, Desmond Ogborn, to follow him into the Eight Realms, where he is going to do some unknown nefarious or benevolent deed. Who could say? But you are currently on his boat, which is, it has one humanish entity, which is... oh, no, that was blown away. You have 14 schlumping masses of soul flesh called fulgnids, 7 of which are crammed in a bottle. You have a gloom fiend, which is a large demon that has a half goat and half human body with massive red leathery rings and leathery wings and ridged horns. And the rowers of this ancient ghost ship, Viking longship, are crab people. The vibes are bad. It is cramped on the boat, but you have just descended through a rainbow bridge that has opened up in the sea and are heading into a place gleaming with golden light, which you could which one could call Asgard.
I have a medium question. What is the weather like in this realm? Not now, generally.
I think in Asgard there are often mists that refract a lot of golden light, and I think there is light rain occasionally, and on the very rare occasion you see a storm, but generally misty with golden light.
I think that's quite a nice idea for a place. You know, just like mist over time.
You can't
Carry
see
on.
very far, but it is bright.
Would it be hugely silly of Benedict to draw a potency seal and pop his golden cross in it to recharge it? Does he have enough time? I don't know how long this further journey is.
This is the interesting bit now, because there are things that could be encountered that if you were going alone would definitely have been encountered, but because you are going with Desmond, I don't think it makes sense unless you want to. So you're going to be on this boat for a while. I'd imagine about just over a day, maybe. That's probably communicated to you by...
More than a period of time.
That's probably communicated to you by a grumpy, drowned-sounding crab person who just comes over and says, in sort of, as if speaking backwards in some sort of abyssal speech, "Get comfortable. It'll be a long time on the boat."
Well then, I shall charge my holy symbol. Thank you.
Does anyone have any food? I'm quite conscious that last time I was surrounded by Tartaruki, I had a rather large dinner. So I was hungry.
It just sort of it looks at you, just wide-eyed, "We will reach over the boat and catch raw fish."
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I live
Is there
in Rubbish.
nighttime in Asgard?
I think it's one of those things where it's like
One of those things.
It's one of those things. Is it at the North Pole during a certain period of time? It's almost always bright.
And south.
And south, but yeah, both. Yeah, of course. That's how the suns work. I think it is perpetually in the brisk cold, but bright all day. I think there is maybe like 3 or 4 hours of night. Desmond retires to his cabin quickly and encourages you to do the same. Well, not his cabin, encourages you to just sort of like hunker down and prepare for the trip. And I can narrate some things that you pass. I think at some point somebody also says maybe that same disgusting Tartarucus that I don't want to keep voicing, that you were on your way to Jotunheim, which is why Surtur is with you, because he will be your guide there, because otherwise you'll get crushed.
I'm gonna try and pull Eli to one side, and I'm just basically, so little buddy, this is obviously not what we signed up for. So what I'm wondering is, this seems like largely Benedict's trying to do some sort of thing that will possibly get us all murdered, and I've got Fernanda Benanda back home, and I don't necessarily want to die.
Yep, no.
Does that make sense?
On the same boat
Right.
with you there, yep.
All right, okay, so what I propose is that if Benedict gets too crazy, we kill him and leave.
It's definitely an option. If it gets to that point, I'll stick with you. I could make some nerve paralytic in the back just in case we could
Yes, that's what I was thinking. And sure, if we poison him a little bit and bash him
Just
over the head,
enough.
we could take him back outside the Rainbow Bridge and get on home, no mistake. No skin of our tits, just
'Cause
go to Denmark, sit up
that
there.
is the great thing about the nerve paralytic is you don't have to kill Benedict. You can just poison him and then lug him away.
I could either make him horribly ill or
That's funnier.
Sure, we don't need him shitting his pants. That'll just, stink
More
up
mess, more mess.
the whole boat.
Doesn't Daffodil still
Yeah.
have some fairy butter?
No comment. That's not for now.
All right. I just want to make sure that you and I were on the same page, because obviously I don't know him. He's a nice enough fella, but he seems powerfully obsessed with this lad, and that's a big fucking giant. And I could probably do him.
Yeah.
But
Incidentally,
big.
Surtur is wading alongside the boat.
oof. Yep, no, backup plan,
Oof.
backup plan.
Yeah, backup plan. All right.
The
good
water
talk.
that
Mwah.
Surtur wades through steams as he goes.
Once Daffodil is finished with reconstituting his henna tattoos, which the one on his right hand, on the back of his hand, he flashes under Desmond's nose to see, look, do you like it? And it's his face. He will ask the party if they would like adornments on their weapons, because Daffodil can bestow enchantments, as can actually.
As can I.
And
As can I.
What's his face?
I think you have to do. I don't know if
I think they're
We
into
can do that
campaign
now.
actions, aren't they?
Yeah, they're into campaign.
Did you all
Into
take
campaign.
into campaign actions?
I did. It
If
was
you-
my
If you did,
learning of German and getting more money.
I would allow it to have been done or to happen now, but it is the inter-campaign action because you've got all the necessary resources and whatever, right?
Let me know.
So yeah, if somebody wants that, I think you could potentially do it over this trip, though I might put a roll on it just to see if you can get it done in time.
That's fine.
Can I
And
just
actually, we
chime
can
in
do all the different kinds.
and say that Elder was overhearing the conversation between Eli and Rumput?
I would
might
like
have
you
to
to
roll
make.
for that.
I think you might need to take a roll for that.
Damn.
I'll allow a roll for that. That's probably a skullduggery, it sounds like.
Yeah, let me I haven't even got. Hang on.
While we're doing this, I'll say that the first location you are travelling along the Ifinga, which is a river in Asgard that connects Jotunheim. The first place that you're travelling through is Himinbjorg, which is where Heimdall lives. I think there is sort of it's mostly one key sort of hall, but there are a few other village houses surrounding it. There is no plan to stop, but you could petition for it if you wished.
It's just a nice sight to see for me, really.
Incidentally, I know that I don't like Disney, but I am still face casting Heimdall as Idris Elba.
Yeah, I can't really
Yeah, it
avoid
makes
that.
sense.
I'm almost not changing a single thing, but I think he doesn't dress in a golden suit of armor. I think he hangs up the golden suit of armor and comes to it on occasion. Heimdall's just got some like normal people clothes, and that's fine.
I forgot how to roll.
I've
got one in skullduggery in the thingy.
Yeah, so you've got skullduggery. Do you have, what's your intelligence? Is that one?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
So that's 2 dice. The consequences for this are minimal because it's just sort of like seeing if you can do something.
So 2d6, right?
Yep. Nope. You don't hear a thing. You see Rumpert and Eli talking, and you're on the other side of the boat, and there are some weird crab guys that are sort of like chanting as they row.
Elder grows even more hungry.
Did you say there was some weapon enchantment happening?
Yeah, I can do a runic thing, and Siobhan can do a blessing thing, and Felix can do the other thing. So the 3 kinds of enchantment are open to us for anyone. So basically pick any of them.
Didn't you and Siobhan do your inter-campaign actions? So I think you can't get the extra...
Oh, I was saying I could bless someone. I could bless someone else's.
Okay. You can do
Not.
something.
Yeah.
I could bless someone else's, not mine.
Within mine and Rumpert's conversation, could I offer him my throwing knife to bless?
The enchantment is a permanent thing. Would there be any particular enchantment that you would be interested in adding?
Yeah, find out which one you want and just ask the appropriate character.
The ones I'm capable of giving to you are the +1 against Curse and Essential, changing its material whenever you want, kind of like my axe. Never break, less weight on armor.
Ooh.
How are you doing those?
Those are the runes.
Yeah, but like how are you doing an enchantment?
How are you performing it?
How am I performing it? I imagine just by like drenching it in my spit and then breathing fire on it.
I do in this case. I know mostly I mean contextually, but I do in this case mean mechanically because it's an inter-campaign action that you need to do to do it.
Sorry.
Oh, right. I just assumed that because Eli didn't take an inter-campaign action, then I could have done this for them.
Interesting. I'll allow it.
Hey.
I'll allow it.
Could I
Those are
change its material?
I'm just gonna print screen
Oh
this.
yeah.
You're gonna get a lot more than you need. But there you go. There's the right page.
Runes of change.
Runes of change.
Runes of change.
Yeah, cool. So I think that's a roll, right? Do you want Eli to do that, or do you want me to do that?
I think you should do it because you're the person with
The juice.
the ability to do it. Yeah, the juice. The juice is a good way of putting it.
Okay.
And that needs to be a Thurgy.
Thurgy. Okay, that's...
Silvu play.
Okay, so I don't... can I pump in Druidic and Fey Study knowledge?
Yeah. I'll
So
allow it.
3 dice.
That's 2 partials. I think in inter-campaign actions we're saying that partials are just full successes.
Woo!
Yay!
Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
So which were you adding? The blessing of
The runes of change. Which one did you want that on? Like,
my throwing knife.
didn't you already have a thing on your throwing knife?
Oh yeah, I do. Blessings of the mouth. Oh, so okay, hunting knife then for runes of change. And can I have prepped some nerve paralytic during this time?
Yeah, I imagine so. I can't be bothered to look at that rule, but I'll let you do it. Was there any other enchanting specifically for Felix's inter-campaign actions? Best do this now before later. Anybody want something enchanted?
Al, do you want any scripts? Any blessings?
I don't know if there's like specific things I have to choose.
You can get scripts from Benedict. I'll say that Rumpert's time has been used up, so no runes. But you can have blessings from Daffodil.
Blessing of Breath looks kind of interesting. Since we're on water.
Yeah, I mean, that could be pretty useful.
Yeah.
That's the sort of thing that, like, is going to come up at some point, and you're going to go, like, I got this.
Yeah.
And we're all going to go, like, ah!
So is that something I can just have?
Yeah, have you got any armor at all?
Yes.
If you don't, I'll let you put it on some clothes.
Longbow, water scythe, throwing knife. Oh, right. I have dragon hide.
Oh, there you go. Enchant that with well, we'll have Felix roll, but
Alder is wearing dragonhide armor? Fuck me.
so I believe a third you roll from Daffodil, please, to put some
yeah, just let me
put
check
some blessing of breath on there.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's armor only.
Incidentally, you can make up your own enchantments.
Felix's lined up perfectly with the wailing at the end of that song.
And that's a 5, so you've got a blessing of breath
Yay!
on your dragonhide.
Hell yeah!
Oh my god. Can I perform this? I wish that upon being asked, Daffodil is absolutely elated and just starts spinning with Alder, I imagine, to their increasing despair. And then after they are dizzied and just blinded by masses of glitter, he will say, "That was entirely unnecessary and just for my entertainment," and just blows on the item.
Elder immediately starts rubbing the glitter all over their face.
Benedict observes all this enchantment going on and simply mutters, "How unseemly."
I think the Gloom Fiend is like sitting on the, I'm going to say prow, and I don't know which bit that is.
Prow is the front.
Good, that's what I hoped. They're sitting on the prow of the ship and just staring at this, like, this fey-bound trinketry, this recharging of a holy symbol, the blessing of some armor, and the runes on a weapon, and the Gloom Fiend is scowling. Just fully, I don't like any of this.
Does the Gloom Fiend have a face?
Yeah, I think it's got a human face.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Can Daffodil go and kiss it?
I think if you get close, it unfurls its wide leathery rings.
Rings?
I keep fucking that up. Wide
Freud is having a field day with you today.
and just like flaps them. They're giant. They're giant. You know, it's the wingspan of a human, which would be fucking huge. Do you still come forward?
Does it respond well to flattery? I think the wings would be quite a sight to see. I could just go extraordinary. How fabulous.
It stands tall with its wings out, and says, "You're right. I am extraordinary." And then just like flaps them and starts flying above the ship instead.
No, it would be a waste. I thought about like casting my spell to fly after it and just to harass it with compliments. Shall I just do that?
It's incredible. I think I'm learning in this campaign that I can make you waste all of your spells by just making you flirt with people.
It's worked fine so far.
It's, like, you haven't run out.
But I won't. Well, it's just because there's been time for me to redraw them. But no, I would just like shout at it. Most beautiful. Do a trick.
Alder repeats it.
The spin it does, the barrel roll in midair that it does, is because you asked it to do a trick, or because it wanted to.
Oh my god! Can we all clap? Fabulous, extraordinary, very good.
But yeah, so the Gloom Fiend follows along above. Eyes jet black, skin deathly pale, flesh marked with Enochian glyphs. I'm just reading what we've written before.
Legolas, what do you see with your elven eyes?
I see lots of water and mist with golden light.
So let's get back to the travel. So the Iffinger is wide. there are sort of sections of waterfall, like I don't know how to describe this, but sort of like, a wide waterfall that has many streams that go down over sort of like smaller drops over time. A bit like rapids, I guess, but not quite.
Was that a slipstream? Or is that just a word that's come up into my mind? Let me find out. Carry on.
And sort of like, as you reach these points, Surtur just picks up the ship and carries you down them, and then places you at the bottom so that you can keep rowing again.
Sounds traumatizing.
Yeah. I think this whole experience is like, you feel very cosmically small.
That's called a cascade. A series of small falls consisting of water descending over rocks or boulders.
Yes, there are many cascades that you pass through. And so this is sort of, it's very helpful to have Surtur along this trip. As you are passing, the mist starts to dissipate as the air grows colder and you start to see more snow. Yeah, so as you begin to pass into Jotunheim, where, and this is probably about 8 hours into it, where you will eventually dock along the bank of the Ifingr and then walk across Jotunheim to get to the Vima River, which will then join into the sea which Jormungandr lives in, and then later the Gjöll River. This is the plan. It is going to be... So, I think once you reach Jotunheim, it is freezingly cold, and you start to sort of like... You are sailing through ice sheets. Surtur is out in front, melting them as he goes. And eventually, after your full day of travel, the ship is run aground on a beach, deliberately, where the Tartarucas begin to just sort of like unpack belongings from under the benches, and Desmond re-emerges from his chamber and says, "Did you enjoy the journey?"
I mean, it was actually kind of refreshing to be around so many creatures of the darkness and not have sore arms from killing them. You sort of kind of, you get the feeling of that these are creatures that have their own intelligent minds, and maybe I've been doing a lot of stuff over the last few years that sort of a bit more genocidal than I'd have liked to have admitted.
Rumpert, trust me, this is what war would look like.
This is what war has looked like, Ogmund.
You're right, Benedict.
Are you always treated with so much hostility?
You would too, Daffodil, had you been betrayed as I was.
My question was actually for our guest.
I think we're his guest.
Each of these around you can be trusted as far as, well, slightly further than you could expect.
I could expect a lot of things. That's just me trying to... Rumpet just doesn't like awkward silences.
So, Jotunheim is vast. It is mountainous. You see in the mountains above vast forts, and you can occasionally see moving through the mountains impossibly large figures, of which Surtur is, on the smaller side. The plan is to pass perilously through this region and get out the other side. Desmond just turns and says, "Are you ready for the trek? We had not the supplies to consider your food and water, so you may have issue with this."
I'm more than happy to have a bit of crab. I mean, I'm just saying, like, when are we gonna eat them?
I don't believe that would be conducive to the better relationship that we need to be maintaining.
The most important relationship is between me and my stomach.
Alder, perhaps this is not the time to suggest we eat the demons that outnumber us.
No, we'll wait until they start to die from the cold, and then we'll eat them.
Pick off the little ones at the end.
How do crabs deal with the cold? Effects of low temperature on shrimp and crab physiology. Oh my god! Oh, it's wild. Their body literally changes.
Crabs are insane, man. This is why so many things are evolving into crabs.
Yeah.
People.
What is that supposed to mean?
Everything
Have you not- how have you not heard about
everything in
this?
the sea is turning
It's
into
like
crab.
carnicization or something. Or
Yeah.
Personalization.
That's it.
Yeah.
What I'm really enjoying is that Felix was the only one who didn't know about this.
Yeah, I'm really surprised about that.
Carcinization is the process whereby specifically crustaceans develop closer to crab-like features over evolutionary processes, and
They're superior.
over a longer period of time, the crabs have evolved several times independently. It doesn't mean that generally most animals are turning into crabs.
Alex, I just don't think that you.
A lot of people.
I just don't think you have the science to back up that claim.
There is something to be said of animals like turtles, which have become which are. Well, I don't actually know. Are they reptiles or mammals?
They're reptiles.
Reptiles. Like a reptile species that has become more crab-like, but
Soon.
not crabs.
Soon.
They don't have pincers yet.
Turtles
shall
with
see.
pincers is horrible.
We're getting sidetracked. We're getting sidetracked.
So ultimately, we can pick off the small
Siobhan.
frozen crabs as they slowly die.
I don't think that we
Thank God they're
can.
not
Crabs
snow
live at the
crabs.
bottom of the sea.
Yeah, I think they're going to be fine. Oh, they all put on big coats.
Crab coats!
Oh, crab coat!
I don't care. I think it's fun. I think they're going to put on like big furs. Same with
They
the
got any
goldfinch.
spares for us?
No.
Damn it.
Outer is
blame
fine with
it.
this.
Can I... There are two things I can offer. Per day, I could try and summon a warm breeze.
It's not a
That's
bad
genius.
idea. But once per day, a warm breeze is probably not enough.
How long does the
Or
breeze
I
last?
could maybe... Well, the whole day, actually.
Does it follow you?
I mean, lasting for the rest of the day, yes. Why wouldn't it follow me around?
Can I
on
light
the
my
whole
whole
realm.
head on fire?
Yeah, and we can all just huddle around Rumpet's like radiating body heat.
Or if I were to ask my patron, would they give us clothes?
So, I think the warm breeze, I'll let it follow you around, because also that kind of climate destruction could only bring worse attention. I think asking of your patron warm clothes. Yeah, I'm just sort of like suddenly considering the connection between you and your patron in this realm.
What does that have to do with anything? The other world is also another realm.
No. I'm just wondering, is it closer or is it slightly further away in terms of like, I think it is slightly closer. But yes, I think you could go for that. You'll have to roll.
Oh my god, excellent. What do you want me to roll?
Well, what do you feel like rolling? I feel like it's probably sway. Asking of your patron.
Persuasion?
What's the wording on asking your patron?
Well, none of these are objects. They're guidance, summons, and skills. So I guess that...
I think as long as it's done at dawn, it'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Would you like to roll, or would you like it to cost you a trinket?
Oh, it can cost me a trinket, it's fine.
Yeah, alright. Cost you a trinket for some warm clothes. I think that's fair. Can you remind me your patron? Was it Morrigan? Morrigan.
It's full of crows in Asgard, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think you see atop one of the mountains like a not giant figure, but like vast in terms of gravitas.
Mm-hmm.
As you call for the Morrigan appears on atop a mountain, and like a flock of crows just sort of like crest over the top and swarm down. And they burst into flames as they reach the ground in front of you. And in place are raven feather cloaks.
Hot.
Nice.
That's
Love
hot.
that.
Oh,
Is she not most theatrical?
As Rumpert puts on this raven feather cloak, he feels sort of like this feels very real to me. There's something happening in my body I don't understand.
Well, time to Night's Watch it up.
I would like to. Who would like to roll an orienteering? Yeah, I thought so. Rumpert shall lead the way, because I think there is a thing of a Desmond and the host of demons and Surta, while travelling with you, will not travel. They're keeping 100 meters distance. They're sort of like they weren't happy being on the same boat as you, so they're not chummy. And so I think, yeah, if Rumpert is being the guide and leading the way, let's get an orienteering to see if you cause any calamity.
Excellent. Knowledge of folklore? Considering Germanic is within my languages?
I'll allow something between folklore and druidic and faith studies. I know we've not got any... probably Germanic, Celtic.
There's something in there. The languages really help out with all the other stuff.
I sort of think occasionally with skills that some are sort of like contribute half a dice, and so if you've got druidic and fey, I'm a bit like not quite, and if you've also got folklore, I'm like probably.
That's 2 5s.
But that's 2 successes. That's 2 5s. Because this is a multiple day journey, you need to the rest stop somewhere. I do not even know how to say this word.
Put it in the chat.
It's not useful for the podcast.
It's useful for me, because then I might be able to pronounce it. No, I can't pronounce it.
Utgard.
I think that's pretty good.
Utgard.
Utgard. Okay.
Nobody correct us, please.
We won't believe you if you do.
Very technically,
especially if you're Norwegian.
Could be a TH, or it could be Utgard.
Why don't you just put it into Google Translate and get her to speak it?
Ooga.
Ooga?
That again depends on what pronunciation you're using, because if it's Icelandic, they're saying things real different to the Danish, to the Norwegian.
They got that Bjork thing going on.
Don't you mean
either
Björk?
Way, it sounds like you just say you get Utga, and then you get to the AR and you just keep saying the AR for a bit.
Utgard.
Utgard. Say it for the rest of the word. Cool. At one of the tallest mountains, a bit like Mont Saint Michel, but way colder and way Minister. There is a giant fort that just crests this mountain and just like worms its way around and down, sort of like a giant sloping cliff face. And this is a giant fortress of the scale of which most houses are just beyond any building you see. There are skyscrapers that are normal homes. The plan is, Surta has organized that you will stay here for a night. And you have got here and unoffended anybody with your orienteering up to this point. And so Desmond once again turns to you, and you see like giants ranging from about 16 foot tall to, the 30, 40, 50, 60 that Surta's in between.
Alex, could I run a perception check on the giants and just see sort of like what the mood is of them here in Jotunheim?
Yes, you may. I think
insight
of an insight.
Oh right, I ran perception. Sorry.
Well, yeah, you've rolled it now, so I'll give you something. But it is a partial. Hold on.
Sorry, that was an accident.
Don't roll a d20.
It's an 18. Give me something.
Fuck, that's a good roll.
That's a good roll.
D20 plus your intelligence. No. Delightful. How did you have 4 dice? Have you improved your intelligence?
No, my perception, I just include the way that I can see stuff plus knowledges, plus I'm skilled in perception.
It would have to only be 3 dice. because the rest of the has to come from your intelligence, unfortunately. So your seeing stuff could be a knowledge or a proficiency dice, but you've got the proficiency and you've got.
Well, I'll drop the 2 then.
I'll allow it. You can drop any of those dice and it would be exactly the same roll. The vibe here is tense. You notice that most giants are keeping away, and you notice that none of them spend much time with Surta. Surta lets you all in. And the giants here, they're mostly wearing sort of like thick hides, giant hides stitched together of animals that are relatively normal sized. Copious amounts of animal hides to cover one giant. The guards on the gate are sustainable fashion. The giants on the gate are armed and large, and when Surta arrives by them, I'm mostly giving you visuals because of your perception. You don't get sort of like insights. When Surta arrives, there is sort of like a short conversation that gets slightly heated, and then they open the gates and they allow your party of, demons and yourselves through. And the glowers that they are giving the demons is actually met with the glowers that they're given to you, and you get the general animosity to the demons is don't like you being here, and the glowers that they get for you are like, this is more than was bargained.
Okay. Rumpet smiles at them and nods.
They say something in I wonder what language they speak.
Probably Norse.
It would be a Germanic language.
All right. Which one?
Probably Old Norse.
Nice.
Yeah, old Norse. You probably have it.
Damn.
Anybody with Germanic, you can pitch it to get patch it together, and it is something along the lines of "Watch your step, little one."
I say thank you for not kicking off. We appreciate their patience.
One of them.
I think at least 2 people have to keep Alder in check because they're so ready to fight at any given point.
Stab him in the shins. I'm really reminded of Ponti's scheme in our fighting workshop, just being picked up by an ice giant and thrown at. I think in response to replying to them, they are fully through the glower. They laugh, but they don't stop glowing.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And you are shown by Surta into a hall that is human-sized, which they have, because occasionally people might visit. The person who meets you is a dark elf. Or to use the word that I wrote down on my little sheet.
We've timed this amazingly with God of War Ragnarok coming out.
We really have. Yeah. It's a real coup.
I didn't know it was happening.
Dokalfar. Yeah.
Dokalfar. They introduce themselves as Hrura, Hroar.
Hror.
And says, welcome, those not expecting more of yourselves. We have a place for the demons. We will have a place for you. You will be able to keep a space to yourselves. Is there anything that I can furnish you with? You will have rooms to yourselves and fires to keep you warm. I'm impressed that you have survived.
I believe that the very big one and the slightly smaller big one are very hungry.
I could do with some crab, not gonna lie.
She keeps asking to eat our crabs.
And just says, a crab may be difficult, but we'll find you something to keep you tied over.
Tell me, Hror.
Sure.
What bargain was struck with Surta and Desmond? Do you know of it?
Come on in. I know very little, but don't wish to discuss it in the street.
Very well.
And leads you into a street.
Street?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, street.
What's street?
Well, the vast ice sheets and stone that make up the pathways between the many giant fortress buildings and skyscrapers. I think this longhouse is on the outskirts. You are probably like miles from the biggest of the forts, and sort of like one of the places where you imagine the Jotun that go into myth and legend will be dining and eating. Does anybody want to just sort of like roll something to know a bit more about this place?
I can make an attempt at that. I have Germanic, I have folklore, I have Druidic and Fey studies. Is this just a straight recall?
I think it's a recall. Anybody can.
I have those exact knowledges as well.
I feel like it would be worth knowing if there are any like back rooms or like secret hallways or something, just in case something were to go down. Because I'm like guessing that Elder kind of wants to know this sort of thing.
I think we can do that separately as sort of like you can case a joint, can't you?
That's true. What about, does literature and poetry work for like legends and stuff?
Yeah, I'll allow it. I'll allow a literature and poetry. So yeah, I'm thinking that I'm just going to go down the list of fields of knowledge. So I don't think much in medical is going to give you anything. The sixes count and
recalls.
I'll allow history, literature and poetry, Druidic and Fey, folklore, and then probably Germanic, and those are the ones to go for. Does anybody else have those?
I do have folklore. I shall roll another.
Okay.
That one did not work.
Anything from Eli, Alder? Got any of those? No.
No, just Celtic.
Cool. All right. So, what shall I give you? 3 successes. Firstly, broadly, Utgard. I'm going to keep fucking it up, but I'm going to try. There is a devious giant called Utgard Loki. Not Loki, but another devious Loki. Also known as Loki of the Outlands, whose this fort is. It is occasionally considered to be one of the realms in and of itself, but it is sort of like a gathering place, and it's not a trustworthy place, but it's enough of a place that people will gather and know where they stand with everybody else, because everybody's on their guard. So it is safe enough for the time being. Does anybody have any questions for your 3 dice? So 3 questions.
What would bring people to this place, like to this gathering?
It doesn't look like there is any gathering on at the moment, but generally it would be specific sort of, I don't know, I want to say crisis meetings. It would be like where a mustering of Jotun would gather. It would also potentially be a receiving place because of its scale for people from other realms. You've already seen that there are sort of like other 8 realms populations that live here, because there are capacity for people of human size, including elves, to be here. I hope, Felix, you'll allow Fionn to have taken one of yours.
Yeah, they can take all of them.
Only 3 questions, not the 4?
You got a 4, and you got 2
That's 3 questions.
It's 2 questions. Very good. Yeah. I'm not really sure. Could I save this for later?
You can bank them, and you can come back. But yeah, you are led into this longhouse by Roar, who starts a fire in the hearth and invites you all to sit around it, and asks again if there's anything you would like for him to go fetch.
I just ask for the meats. Yeah, and anyone who, fancies a little some beers. If they got anyone who wants to party.
Eli seconds.
Yeah, Prua arrives later with food. Plenty. I think asks for help setting up a table in front of the fire where you can all sit around. And Prua takes the head of the table and says, "Might I say this is my longhouse, where I will host the visitors who may come through, such as yourselves. I am happy to do this, and I have done this for centuries, with rarely those from Midgard. And so, might I say that it is an honor to have you all here.
It is our pleasure to grace your halls in this manner. Might I say, I'm very much enjoying the way that you've laid on this spread. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Honest to God. Jesus. If my mum knew I was here in the land of the giants, I tell you what, she would be very surprised.
So you've got sort of like, you've got a lot of platters of berry sweetened meats, essentially. Aside from that, I think very little grows here. So it's not very veggie friendly, unfortunately. But it might be a fish.
No crab.
No crab, sorry.
Come, Hlor.
What,
You said we could not speak of it on the street, but what now?
What is it that you know? Then perhaps I can fill in some gaps. Why are you here?
That is the thing. We do not really know.
So you travel along a caravan of demons for the sake of it?
The man they are with, Desmond Ogborn, he is quite a powerful witch. He had one patron that we did know of, a Spurian, but he seems to travel now with a different demon, a more powerful one, King of Hell, Paimon. He said he had some purpose here. He will not reveal his purpose to us. Did he share this purpose with you?
I have had a meeting with Desmond years ago. Desmond has told me that he plans to head deeper into the Eight Realms, to Hell. That he wishes to... There are two paths. One, the path of his patron, to collapse the barriers between our Hell and your Hell. The second is to collapse the barriers between Midgard and Hell.
What would the consequences of both of these things be?
The Paimon will simply walk into Midgard.
Last time he came to Midgard, I bitch slapped him, but I imagine if he
You
was...
didn't...
I know how demons work, little man. Shut the fuck up.
Yes. Right you are. Boastful warrior.
But what about if the hell is the one hell and the other hell, the two hell? Hell. Yes. So what if they became three hell?
Let us say Helheim in the 9 circles. Let's please before it drives us mad.
So what if it became 10 circles of hell? What would happen then?
What simply would happen? Well, this is part of the plan. Is he brought Surtur in, as Surtur believes it is his ancient duty to take up the flaming sword and begin Ragnarok.
Why would Desmond want to help Ragnarok happen?
The reason that I am sat here with you is because Desmond does not want any of these things to happen.
I knew he was a good guy. You're a very judgmental man, Benedict Brideshead.
Shut your hole and eat your fucking food! Sorry. An outburst.
Over years since we have met, and Desmond first worked his way here, he has been plotting to lure Paimon out of Hell, where he can be devoured and killed.
Other than me, when I bitch slapped him, what could devour and kill a king of Hell?
Do you know what lives around Hell?
Okay, which Hell?
Our Hell.
Helheim. Lives around, I don't know, like a dragon?
Yes, there is a dragon.
Oh, right. Goddamn one!
The issue is that Desmond does not work alone. Desmond is mirrored on the surface with another, who we do not know, and Desmond does not know. The other will do their best to collapse the journey between Midgard and Hell at the same time as Desmond collapses Heim and Hell. Desmond needs to collapse Helheim and Hell, but if Midgard and Hell is bridged, then Paimon will walk through. And even if Desmond is successful, your realm will be significantly upturned.
Gods! Gods, he has a noble purpose. Gods, he has a noble purpose.
Playing with fire, a lot of fire. Working with Surtur and demons, Desmond is putting many things at risk. But if anybody can make it happen, it is him.
I imagine this is something of a moral quandary for you, Benedict. Your greatest nemesis trying to save the world. You sworn to defeat him. I bet this makes you feel very frustrated.
It does curdle my piss somewhat, yes.
It's delicious. You know, if you curdle your piss, you can make excellent cabin wine. And that's part of the whole flavour.
Well, it seems we have a purpose, my compatriots. It is to protect the life of Desmond Ogborn.
Yes, that's very good. You see, Eli, the way he said that sounded like he wanted to kill himself.
It was quite entertaining. I quite enjoyed that.
It was very good stuff.
And
there is an issue.
The mirrored other.
Exactly. If this witch on the surface is able to bridge a gap between Hell and Midgard, then as soon as Paimon is allowed into Helheim, he will traipse into your world as well.
And what know we of this other?
Nothing. Paimon has been careful and kept Desmond and this other at an arm's reach. What we do know is that the location is a place called Koga.
Where is that?
It's near Copenhagen.
Ooh, do we have to split?
I personally would rather not split up.
I don't know how else we might avoid it. If we work to this purpose here in Jotunheim and do not undo this witch in Kurgan, the world will be lost.
Ooh. Wilcox, can Daffodil get out of Asgard through ferry roads?
I think say this in character because Hero will smile and says, there is something, the way that you interact with this world. Alfheim shares a border with your other world. You may travel through Alfheim to return to Midgard with ease.
Is that specifically to me?
Yeah.
Pussy.
I mean,
Anyway.
you can take people with you.
Yes, I understand.
Sorry, did you just say pussy as a reaction to good news?
Yes.
Right, okay, with no more questions.
My favorite gay word of the year is gorgina. I use it whenever I can. That is so gorgina. It's so
I feel like
That's a new one.
In any case, we can't split up yet. We still need to find a way to talk to Desmond, maintain some kind of link, so everyone...
If you talk to Desmond, Paimon will hear. Desmond must be kept at...
What about his dreams? Does Paimon hold sway over his dreams?
You could try.
It stands to reason, if he travels close to him and we cannot see him, he may be within Desmond.
Pussy indeed.
Through his dreams may be a way to contact him safely. And we could do that if we wish.
Me.
But no, if you return to Midgard, I can travel with Desmond and see if I can find a way to bring you close to hell at the time when he needs you most.
Why?
I believe Desmond is prepared but arrogant.
No. Why would you assist?
I am a conspirator in this fact from the beginning.
That my question still stands. What is your specific interest?
The destruction of a creature of your hell that threatens the balance of our realms.
Sensible.
You Midgardians believe that you are the only people who bear a hatred towards these creatures of your hell. But trust that there are few amongst us who would be like Surtur and take a side with them for personal gain.
Oh, sweetest host.
And Russel says, "Why, you have guessed me well." And then his hand passes through the table a few times. Like, whoa. No,
Oh!
But if
That would be quite funny. I have spent most of my life not in the human realm, and I can guarantee that hatred for all things dark is sacrosanct.
If it were down to your hell's creatures, then everywhere would be hell. We have a balance with ours.
The devil is hungry.
Expansionist, greedy.
Alda can't help but feel a bit suspicious.
Do you want to vibe check this guy?
Somebody
Kind of,
please lay a vibe check on the giant.
This guy's not a giant. This guy's a dark elf.
On the dark elf.
He is human-sized, if not a little bit shorter.
Do you have insight, Alder?
I have insight and perception.
Insight's good. Insight's the good one, huh?
Can I lend psychology?
Yeah,
Insight's a good
totally. Oh my god, Eli is just whispering with Alder.
Oh, I have psychology as well.
Oh, I
You
tried.
have psychology?
No, I mean you can do it, but I think it would be good to. Is it possible to do that in one roll?
Is this
Like,
is
it
this
just
like
depends.
a is this like a spiritual vibe check? Because I have vitalism.
This is more like this person seems to. I mean, the dark elf seems to like. Alda's kind of come from a background where everyone has their own interests at heart, so they're kind of seeing it in a way of like this dark elf does not seem to be like 100% like, oh, they care about how humans hate the people of Helheim and stuff. Oh, that must be awful for you, and they're just not buying it.
How about Alder rolls an insight and Eli rolls a perception, and you can just sort of like Alder gets the sort of like interpersonal of this guy, and Eli sort of like sees if you can see a bit more. Remember, you've also still got 2 questions from earlier.
Okay. So that's 1d.
That's 1 for intelligence, 1 for your insight, and then 1 because you have psychology. The Alder has psychology truly shocks me.
Okay. 3d6.
I
I have autism and I'm doing psychotherapy. What are you trying to say?
No, not that Sen is a person, that Alder. Psychology.
Alder, that's a 6. How about them devil's bargains to see what you can see?
Why me? Why me?
Because you rolled the 6.
Why do I keep
What do you
getting-
mean, why you?
Yeah, I
You
know,
love to
but like
roll a
the
6.
last time,
You
the
love
last
to roll a
time,
6.
yeah, but the last time we had a devil's bargain, I was just not satisfied. Okay, fine, go on.
You want to devil's bargain? Okay, well, hold on. I'll give you the bargain, which is you will learn. I will give you exactly the stakes that Hror has in this. if you just roll me 2d6.
Oh my fucking god! This is terrible!
Get in! I know exactly what that is. And Eli, do you want to roll a perception as well?
Sure. Do I use psychology as well?
Get the vitalism help from Daffodil, because I think that's funny.
Oh.
Cool.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Oh.
Beautiful. Oh.
So, why is Hror wrapped up in this? Why has Hror been in contact with Desmond? And you know, how did this all happen? What is Hror after? Hror is after legend. Hror believes that if they're involved, then they will become, you know, amongst the gods.
What a
Well,
narcissist.
a little bit misguided.
You know, if Hror is part of the plot to, you know, lure in a demon of biblical hell and then kill it, then that's the sort of thing that, like, that's some Thor business.
We know they're dedicated to that then, if that's what they believe.
Yeah. It might just be that when the time comes, Hror will throw spanners in the works so that they can get the
glory.
Get the glory.
Yeah. We'll bash him over the head or something.
So I think what it is you feel the glee in having you as a piece in the puzzle, because I think previously Hror was going to be the one that goes to Midgard and tries to find the other witch. I think leading out of this insight, what I want to give you, Mo, for the success there, although it's 6, 5, 6, 4, 1. A lot of possible consequences there. What I want to give is, I think as the night goes on, you find, what's a cool way for this to, I don't want to just find a note. I want to have something, oh yeah, some sort of fucking scrying pool that you just sort of like happen to come across while you're walking around in the evening. Everybody's having drinks. Hror is talking about what Alfheim is like, what, you know, sharing stories that Alder is starting to get, like, they've got a big view of themselves and their part in history and cosmology. And you happen to walk upstairs, Eli, just sort of like slipping away, and you find just sort of like the door to Hror's room is open. And like it's homely, it's nice. This whole place is like it's well kept and it is welcoming and it is inviting. And in Hror's room there is a scrying pool, and you see a giant woman about 12 foot tall riding a majestic steed through the otherworld.
Mummy?
And like this is just sort of like this tab left open.
Yeah. Eli's just walked in on this in the room.
You, like, at some point Hror was like watching this person, or this like Jotun, and has just sort of like left like this watching like going. So yeah, Hror is interested in somebody who is traveling through the other world, and you know that the other world is the way that you pass through the 8 realms easily to get into Midgard.
A woman Jotun is a Fjorgian.
Fjorgen, love that. Eli, go for it. You don't have Druidic and Fae. You don't have folklore. You don't have literature. You don't have Germanic, do you? Rough.
Eli, you can come communicate it to either Rampant or I what you've seen.
Yes. Can I do that?
Yeah. Also, at the same time as this has happened and as the night has been progressing, you just hear cracks of thunder and rain start to beat heavily on the roof.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So I think Eli's going to come back down the stairs and join the rest of the group and just pull Rumpet to the side and say, I did a little bit of an explore and found that this elf here is keeping an eye on somebody else, I think.
What in sort of like the way you would look out for a child, or the way you would look out for a lover?
Could be either, but I am assuming it's more suspicious circumstances. Will Eli know who this is, or just a giant woman riding a steed?
I think you can give the description.
Use the
that might be
question.
able to
Oh.
get the
Use the question.
Hey! Do I need to roll for this question?
No, we got it.
No, we have
two banked.
If you use both of those questions, I'll give you the name of the what was the word you said?
Fjordin.
Fjordin.
The Fjordin and the horse.
No, that's a G. Fjordin. Like from Gyno.
So yeah, the two questions. This is Hiljod, also known as the Valkyrie of Odin,
Ooh.
and Gilir, which is a horse that is among the steeds ridden by the gods when they go to make judgments at Yggdrasil. Gilir is not assigned to anyone in particular. You can assume from this that Gilead is potentially an easy way to cross through the realms.
Would Rumpet know who this is?
Theoretically.
This is the questions.
These are the questions. So it's fine. You know that. So
you recognize the Valkyrie of Odin, Hiljod.
Is Desmond also like around us?
No. Desmond is bunking with the demons in another place.
I pass this info on to Rumpet discreetly.
All right. Well, we'll use that if people need to get out of here. I'm going to convene the gang. I'm like, okay, so the way I'd see it is we need to get into his dreams. And if we get into his dreams, we've got to be very sneaky. So, I think we need to do it tonight. I think we need to do it soon. And I think that maybe you should stop drinking, Benedict, because you're embarrassing yourself. And you're getting very sloppy.
I don't need to be told what to do by you, Rumpet. I've just been told my greatest enemy might in fact wish to save humanity, and that I have brought myself here to be his fucking protector.
Yeah, sounds like great character development for you.
Don't talk to Benedict.
To give Benedict
Don't talk to him that way.
To give Benedict a way out here, I think that you could go and like clearly go, if Desmond wasn't doing this, there would not really be a way for Paimon to do this anyway. Like, maybe Paimon would work another way out, but there's definitely sort of like a way of thinking for Desmond here of just like, well, if I didn't do it, someone else would. And
He's going to save the world by opening a door to hell in another realm. This is the riskiest way I have ever heard of trying to save the world.
I think it is mirroring Hror in that Desmond is being reckless for glory. Or maybe not glory, but is being reckless for gain.
Well, I'm going to have a little nap because we're not going to sleep at all tonight. So,
I was if Desmond is not staying too far, since he is not exactly. Oh shit! What's just happened? Oh, since he's not exactly uncooperative, I was wondering if it was worth Daffodil just going to be like, oh, I think I might go out after all. I hate it here. It's cold and my ass is cold, but I really want to flirt with you, and just use this as an opportunity to get Alder to draw the Celtic symbol for dream onto Daffodil's neck, just to like suggestively indicate to Desmond attention.
That's some fucking skullduggery.
Is it necessary for skullduggery? Because I don't know.
I think it could be performance.
Okay. I mean, either way, I'll do whatever you want.
Why?
Because you've asked it.
I think it's up to you. Performance or skullduggery is, I think, what that has to be. Unless you have a.
But he is not. As in, I can walk there.
You head out of the door and the ice is like streaming downhill, and like lightning is cracking, and you see Surta howling at the sky.
Honestly, same.
We've all been there.
Honestly, girl, work.
I think as you step out of the door,
Wait, but I asked Alda to write the Celtic symbol to paint it on my neck?
Wouldn't Elder wouldn't have to roll for Elder to actually do that?
I'm happy you helping with this role. I think
Okay.
that's how it makes sense. Of like, did you draw it both obvious enough, but also like concealed enough so that the Demon King is not going to notice it, but also Desmond will cotton on, and
It's just that I'm already filled with tattoos. That's what I'm trying to say. Or we can get another die from Mo to like.
I think the other die comes from Alder helping here. As you step outside to head over to where Desmond is staying, which is sort of like a street over, Serta looks down.
Street over. I'm just gonna die from this word.
Why are you so hung up on the word street?
I don't know. I'm just imagining great sheets of ice crackling together, not pavement in Leicester.
Bit of both.
All right.
I think it's fun if the universe is both grand and mundane. There is golden light passing through the mists at the same time as you're walking through the street of some fort town.
Yeah, it's me. It's Daffodil. I am the Golden Mist. Oh my god, that should be my nickname.
Golden Mist, love it. Serta turns to you as you pass and says, "You shouldn't be out in the dark, little one."
Is it worth even responding? I don't think I can shout over the sound of the weather.
Dangerous place this is. Never quite sure who's out to stamp you in the back. As at the rain as it hits is just sort of like sizzling off of his skin and steam.
Daffodil will say, "Well, aren't I so very lucky to have you watch over me?"
Yes, you're right. I'll keep a close watch on you, little one. And puts his head right down and says, "You may know my name, you may know your little trick, but as soon as I break from under your little spell, if you choose to cast it again, I will stomp you under my feet and chew your little bones."
You know what? Daffodil is so very sorry that he will just reach out a hand with some of that butter and say, it was in a moment of panic and distress. And so, should you ever so slightly sizzle this little treat, you might find yourself wonderfully invigorated.
I was going to make you roll, but then I thought it is too funny, and also totally what Serta would do, to just sort of like snatch the butter from your hand and put it in his mouth.
That was not... You know what? Very well.
I'll take your little gifts. And you just hear like a rumble in his stomach. I'll take your little gifts. But I won't have to be friends with you.
And I shall not ask.
I'm wondering, is Daffodil on their own
Yes.
right now? Shouldn't Elder be
No.
able to
Stay away from my
do the
flirting.
same?
And you roll it up to you, performance or skullduggery.
I think I should roll a skullduggery, but can I add cryptology to that? Because hidden symbols?
Yeah, I think that's good. And do you have skullduggery?
No.
Okay, and you'll get a bonus dice from Alder then.
Yes.
So what's that?
I am fate pointing this. This must be successful. Goodbye. I do not need to roll.
Sure, okay.
Oh, actually, I'll roll because if I get anything else, then I guess mega successes. I get whatever I want.
Woo! That's a mega success.
Oh yeah, that works.
So,
Oh my
success.
god.
So what was your angle on this again?
I'm knocking first, I guess.
One of the Tartarucuses comes to the door, and oh no, it's too funny to go, "Desmond, you have a visitor." Then Desmond comes down into the door and looks over the Tartarucus' shoulder and says, "Are your lodgings sufficient?"
One could argue both for and against that. But that is not why I am here.
Claude has always been an excellent host from my experience.
I was not complaining.
Ushers away the Tartarucas.
Thank you. I have found the environment in this place to be...
Come in out of the rain before you get soaked through.
Oh, thank you so very much. How very kind.
It's uncharacteristic of this land. It must not like our presence.
I have taken that to heart. Sadly, although I am enchanted by this opportunity, and most specifically by your presence, I have found that upon some meager rest, I am likely to make my way to my own private affairs. Though I felt obliged to come here and offer my goodbyes and well wishes in your endeavour, and to perhaps sow the seed of a future meeting, perhaps on more leisurely terms. For we, and when I say this, Daffodil will just rub against his neck, have much to discuss.
Desmond is implacable. Is that the right word? Doesn't react. And then says, "I'm surprised that you and your travelling companions, and is it everyone who will be leaving with you?"
Just I.
Very well. Well, it has been a pleasure travelling with you briefly.
You will bow. Best of luck.
Thank you. Yes, so I think we should leave it there. And I think in the next session we should do a dream. And then we should run away and go to Denmark. I shall say thank you for listening. Please do go to your podcast catcher of choice and give us 5 stars, or 10 stars, or 14, or more. We love to see it, and it is very helpful. We also love to get a little engagement from you on our socials, which are at @6planes or at @6planesgames on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And we'd love to get a little email from you to come chat to us at @6planesgames@gmail.com. Also want to thank Tasha Sofla and Oscar Russell. Tasha for giving us our delightful music, and Oscar for giving us our wonderful graphic design. Find more Oscar stuff on Watchtower Design. And aside from that, just a goodbye and a thank you again.
Keep on trucking.
Bye.
On trucking. Bye.
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 I forgot how to roll.